On our left, Cathy Donahue, RN, Bridge to Life. Bridge to Life was the first full-time pregnancy center organization in Queens, New York. They have had a couple of different locations, but right now they have two. One in Flushing and one in Astoria. They're primarily a resource center. They supply mothers with all kinds of support, classes, you name it. Michaela and Joanna, is it? Are with Center for Bioethical Reform. This is a national organization with regional offices and operations. These two ladies are based in the South. They work with Fletcher Armstrong, who was the guy here earlier with the Make America Great Again hat. The guy with the very strong Southern accent, which is annoying. But I love him. Center for Bioethical Reform. These guys are, as a team, staying here the whole week. They are leaving in a week. They need your help. They need some guys and gals to work with them, because this week, Monday through Friday, this coming week, they are going to hit 5 college campuses with the truth about abortion in very graphic, detailed displays. I need, from each borough, they're going to work Manhattan, Brooklyn, the Bronx, and Queens. In Manhattan, we're hitting NYU, Washington Square Park, and Columbia University. Okay? Brooklyn College, Queens College, and Fordham University. Bingo. 5 big campuses. Not on campus, we'll never get permits to be on there in the time we had to arrange it. You couldn't do it for a private university like NYU. We don't need it because NYU doesn't have a campus. They're Washington Square Park, but it's long and the short of it, we're going to be on the sidewalks surrounding the campuses, front gates, etc. I need a body at minimum for each borough. I need somebody to direct them to where to drive. We need somebody to be in the van with them. I need a volunteer for Queens, 1 volunteer for Queens, 2 volunteers for Queens. Who volunteers to help them in Queens at Queens College?
Time and place.
It's going to be from noon to 3, one day this coming week. Okay, Phil, Queens. Brooklyn College. Who's a volunteer to do Brooklyn College with them this week? One day, 12 to 3 at Brooklyn College campus. Nobody? Columbia or NYU?
NYU.
NYU, we got a man. Fordham University? Nobody? All right. Pray on that. Pray that we find some people. All right. I could go on for about the rest of the 20 minutes giving an intro to Miss Reverend Leonard Childress, founder of Black Genocide. This man has a resume that is very long. Suffice it to say, he's in Montclair, New Jersey. He's been the regional coordinator for LEARN, which is a black pro-life activist organization. He founded blackgenocide.org. He's done a lot. He's awesome. Okay, Cathy, how important is providing resources to mothers in crisis pregnancy to their decision to choose life?
It's very important.
Why?
We, at Bridge to Life, we empower women to make life-affirming choices, because we not only help the baby, which most people say that pro-life organizations just care about the babies, but we care about the mothers and their children. We have one of our clients here sitting in the corner, Maple. She came to us 10 years ago, and her daughter is like a typical preteen on her cell phone. I had the pleasure of meeting with her the night before my gala. She called me and said that somebody had told us the gala was happening, and that 10 years ago she walked into our center in desperate situation and she needed our help. And she's an incredible young lady.
Mom, what do you have to say? Anything? You want to say a few words, Mom? You speak English?
Yes, yes.
All right, come on up, don't be bashful. Nobody bites here. Well, I bite, but I won't bite you now. Just say hello.
This is my daughter. This is my daughter, I love you. You happen to, like got in touch with Bridge to Life 10 years back. And they were in Astoria and Flushing. And we were so grateful that they gave us so much help. Yeah. At the time of distress, it was like a lot of help. Yeah.
Man, those are the most awesome hats. Do you love Jesus? Do you love Jesus? With those hats, I would hope so. Awesome. Beautiful girls. Thank you, ladies. Have a seat.
Nice shirt.
Pastor Childress, how important is it to organizing the African American community in the battle for life? And what are the unique challenges that you have?
It is the answer to changing the narrative. It is the answer. The African American community is the catalyst to change this around due to the narratives that have already been set and the acceptance of abortion in the country. So it's activism since the birth of this country, since the civil rights movement, and now, and you are the civil rights movement, the true civil rights movement, because you're trying to gain access for a segment of our community that's been denied access to the American dream. So I say that by saying I am down completely with crisis pregnancy centers, but you need activism to take their message. Or else we're going to be continually spinning our wheels. And the greatest excitement is the statistic that our young people are now more engaged. Why? If you study all social activism and anything against any social injustice, it's the 18 to 26-year-olds that got it done. And so the African American community, and I say this every time, Baptist preacher, the key to their basis is civil rights, justifiably. What do you mean? They say they're justified because a woman should have the civil right to be able to have an abortion. But it was the early civil rights movement that was totally against abortion. And we have to connect those dots. I say this with Ralph Northam, Andrew Cuomo, and the comments that they have made. In Martin Luther King's letter to the Birmingham jail, he said the church, the activists, put an end to such evils as infanticide. And my speech, whether it be 2 minutes or 20 minutes or an hour, is how do you reconcile being African American and embracing a party that is promoting infanticide? Literally, spell it out for you. When the icon of the civil rights movement, being Martin Luther King, said it was evil. Martin called it evil. Why are you calling it good?
Thank you, Pastor. Ladies, young ladies, I'm going to ask you each to answer this question. Your apostolate is very much truth in your face. It's showing the abortion victims and what they look like. Your medium is very much visual. It's daring. It's a scary apostolate because it involves shock and awe. Why do you believe shock and awe, to use the expression of, appealing to people's emotions, is effective and good? One of you answer effective and the other good. How's that?
I'll do it. One of the reasons I think it's effective is because it worked on me.
Look at the audience.
Yes, and I
Speak right into the mic.
yeah. So it's not so much of the shock and awe value of it, because if you look at our projects, it's not all just, oh, as soon as you see the abortion victim, that's all you need to see. We have arguments, we have to have healing and that type of information available for women, and lots of other things. But one of the reasons that it is important to show abortion as bad as it really is because a lot of pro-lifers talk about abortion's bad. So I had heard that before plenty of times, oh, abortion's bad. But then at the same time, they'll cover up just how bad it is, because they don't want you to see how bad it really is, because they're worried they won't be liked, or that they'll hurt your feelings too much, or there are some real concerns as well. But that's what it takes for a lot of us, and that's what it took for me when I first became pro-life. And we have gone to, one of our main projects is going to college campuses, and we have found every single time we go to a college campus with our projects, at least one, usually more, at least one student, after coming, seeing what abortion really is, that motivates them to actually care enough to learn more about it, and then they tell us that we changed their minds, whether it's that day or later. And I'm telling you, it's not just like a cool statistic, oh, like one person every time. It's multiple students all the time. We just got an email from a student from VCU who told us that he was against us when he saw us, but he changed his mind after a while because he recognized the importance of the fact that we were showing the truth. So I think we do need to show the truth in love, and we do have both of those in our project. But it worked for me personally that I needed to see what abortion was, and that really motivated me to say, well, maybe I should learn more about this.
I think Michaela's story is really powerful because it was seeing what abortion actually was that changed her mind. And I'll speak a little bit to why I believe it's good, why we do it. As Christians, we are, Ephesians 5:11 says, we're called to take no part in the unfruitful works of darkness, but to expose them. And God's word says, Jesus was the light of the world. He said, I'm the light of the world. And then he said, now you're the light of the world to us. And what does light do? It just shows what's there, whether it's beautiful or horrible. And so, and people, the word says that people hate the light and love the darkness because their deeds are evil, but we're still called to expose. And so that's what we do. We expose what the deeds actually look like. And it is horrible to look at. We hate the pictures. Everyone hates it. But that's the point, is that we can separate ourselves so much and insulate ourselves so much from the reality of what it is, and then we don't have to ever face it and feel uncomfortable about it. And they did this all throughout history. It's always, in the concentration camps, they started having the gas chambers, right? Because then, people don't have to shoot every person. It's just harder when you're the one. So we have all these layers of insulation, right? The woman never has to see even an ultrasound, much less the actual baby after they've been torn apart. And then, of course, there are the few people who are seeing it, but they're, of course, making money off of it. They have an extra vested interest. And so the majority of society is not seeing what abortion actually is. And, I think that we can kind of get discouraged sometimes and maybe think that, most people are so pro-abortion, pro-choice, but that's the loud voice. That's the voice that has the media. It's the media. They have all these avenues of power from which to spread their message. And then, so of course we think, and the rest of society thinks, everyone's, pro-abortion, super pro-choice. And there's actually more of a minority that is strongly pro-abortion, but then there's that whole, middle 50% that is really can go either way. And it's like, I don't like abortion, but maybe I wouldn't get one, but I'm not going to tell anyone else what to do. But they are influenceable, and they're just listening to what they're hearing, and what they're hearing is the lies. And so we're there to show the truth.
Cathy Donahue, you're a nurse. You've been in professional settings for many years. You are a mother, a wife. You could have done many things with your spare time. How has being the director of a major pregnancy center here in Queens, the most international county in America, how has it actually made a difference in your personal life? How has it changed you? Why are you a better person for having given direction to you and your staff to serve the poor, serve the needy, help mothers and babies?
It's definitely helped to change my priorities. We're very fortunate that I've met a wonderful network of people that believe the same thing we believe, that we want to help. We've been so blessed with this wonderful country. Our God has shed tremendous grace on us. And what have we done? What have we done as a nation? We're killing his children constantly. And he's not very happy about it. So anything that I could do to help. We have these young women, by the grace of God, go I, that come into our center. We help 4,000 women and children every year with largest material assistance program in the tri-state area. And children, they come from all walks of life. They come in the pouring rain, they come in the snow, and they traipse home on their public transportation. And that could be me, because that could be any of us. But what we need to do, and what I wanted to talk about in my speech, is that we need to get legislatively involved. Phil mentioned it. In our own county, we had in-ride fights within the own party. We had true pro-life candidates running for office. And we didn't even get the support of the Conservative Party. You would think they would. And we didn't get the support of the leadership in the Queen's Party. So not only do you have to put yourself out there. You have to be afraid, not afraid to tell your pastors that we need to hear this from the pulpit, okay? And I intend to be talking to my new pastor come June, because this is where it helps. And thank you so much, Joni, for talking to us and not to be afraid, because our centers need this. Now I have to tell a client when she comes in with the new laws, before I get started, I have to tell you that I can't tell you where to go for an abortion, and I'm not going to give you any birth control. Now, how does that start a conversation? Okay, so we're up against an awful lot. And if you want to react to RHA, support your local support centers. We have a wonderful medical program in Queens, in Jamaica, New Beginning Center of Hope. She's Alicia Jones. She's a black woman, and all of her staff just about black and Hispanic, because she knows how the genocide that goes on in this city. Okay, and they'll support the mother throughout the entire pregnancy. What we're called by Pope Francis is to accompany the women. Yes, we care about the babies, but we care about the women. Thank you.
Hey, we're gonna finish up on time, and I'm gonna give you a chance for 3 questions in 3 minutes. Then I'm a little housekeeping about tomorrow morning, and we're done. Okay? 3 questions of our panelists. Yes, sir.
God bless you, Cathy. The Did You Know is the greatest picture probably in the history of the world. Lifeboat and I, my name is Lazarus, and we were out there at the mill with just that picture. We were so tired and beaten up and knocked down and not eating and fasting. No, we're not drawing attention to ourselves. But Austin Vaughn and Bishop Lynch and Chris Slattery were right. You don't go there in front of the killing center and treat it like it was an entertainment or a party. And now my work has been in Bedside, and some of the abortions are taking place in apartments because it's legal in Bedside. And but I'm over there. We've done the work.
So you have a
Cathy,
question?
yeah.
Give him a question.
Cathy, all I can say is God bless you and keep up the fight. And here's the general of the movement.
Any other questions over here? Okay, you're next. You're number 2. This gentleman.
My question is to the college. When you go to the campuses, how have you found, how do you handle violence, or have you encountered violence? Thank you.
Or threats. Or aggressive activity, not necessarily.
Yeah, sure. So we're always thankful when the police are out there. But yeah, I mean, people don't usually get hostile because we have cameras, and sometimes they do, though. They'll knife a sign or pour orange juice on us or something like this. I was with a group recently, and one of the guys got punched, but she got arrested, so someone tried to take her sign. Yeah, well, right, yeah.
Question over here from Dawn.
My question is for Pastor Leonard Chalmers.
Please stand up for the camera.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so,
I'm sorry, I didn't know that you were there.
no, that's okay, that's okay. Okay, so, genocide is a crime in the United States because of President Ronald Reagan. So, if there is genocide in New York, which we know there is, can we sue New York State for the crime of genocide?
That's probably better for Andy, but whatever.
Sorry.
Give it a shot.
I would say yes, because I learned a lot from the Democrats. And they will put on a show and put on the stage, even though they can't win. But it's to basically get their narrative across. We would be getting truth across. And they would say, well, what are your reasons for your lawsuit? And then we could state our case. And pro-lifers have been basically reactive to the situation, but God has been good to us. He gave us so many instances. I wrote a piece once, the best thing that happened to Black America was the election of Barack Obama. And people said, I thought you were conservative. I said, absolutely. Because now more people will find out about the borderline victims act, and look at what's going on right now, because he was the only elected official at that time to vote for it. Now it becomes a story. And I saw those statistics, but unquestionably, great things happen in Notre Dame, great things happen at NAACP, because we can now, because of Barack Obama's totally marrying Planned Parenthood and being undoubtedly that colored minister that Margaret Sanger talked about, that she needed to seduce the African American community. Man, we got a lot of groundwork out of that. I mean, it began to open up the people's eyes.
We got one quick question, our last question of the summit.
Oh, not so much a question, but thank you to each and every one of you. But Reverend and the young ladies here, everything's about the website. So on your website, unfortunately, because of time, we couldn't hear more from you. Can I learn more about your organization and about you on your website? Any literature, you mentioned one that you wrote, any literature that I can look up, Reverend, that you have?
It's just the articles that I've written. And to be honest with you, if I can just have 2 minutes, now he did this, but not me. Arthur Goldberg just wrote an article. He lives in Hudson County. And he wrote on the decimation, basically, of the African American community by abortion. Arthur Goldberg is Jewish. And in my talking with him just yesterday, he wrote the article. The article came out in February. I put it on my Facebook today. It's on there right now. Pastor Leonard Chalmers. The fascinating thing about it was that he is grieved over Black abortions. He's Jewish. Why? Because of the sensitivity to the Holocaust. Now, it goes further with him. You heard of Mickey Scherner and James Goodman. I think those were the names. Those were the 2 Jewish young men who were killed with the other African American young man in the movie Mississippi Burning, which is a true story. Guess who else was down there in the South at the same time? The gentleman that wrote this article, Arthur Goldberg. So we're meeting in a couple of weeks. I said, I gotta meet a person who went down in the South. And it's so tough to get us at abortion clinics. It's so tough for us to protest against entities that are supporting abortion. These young guys went down. Do you know what it would have been like in Mississippi at that time to try to get African Americans to vote and to be signing them up? They put their lives on the line, and some of them paid the price. So that article will be posted on my website, but it's on, he did a great statistical search. So you 2 guys should share notes on Black abortion. I thought it was very in-depth and very well written.
Thank you. Lifeboat, last quick comment or question?
Chris?
Yes.
Oh,
No more, this is it.
Everybody's got to participate. That's able-bodied, who's got some time off. All hands on deck, dress for the weather, because sometimes it's cold out there, sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's raining. But we need all hands on deck. We need, they turned the Constitution into the Constipation, the Declaration of Independence to the Declaration of Indigestion. And the black people, with my own eyes, and if I was a racist, I'd be sending them in instead of trying to talk them out. But they won't listen. They can't wait to get to that revolving door where the Israeli consulate is, 802nd Avenue, 42nd and 43rd Street. They're going in there and they won't listen. No, thank you. You try to get my hand, you know. And but we need all hands on deck. Please notify whoever really believes in life to get themselves out there when they can. We can't, you know, sometimes you can't do it all the time, but I mean, to get out there, you know, if you got some time off and you're able-bodied. I used to be a seaman. I never thought I'd be out here, you know. But anyway.
Thank you, Lifeboat. Awesome, great message. I guess, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to close it out. I think Lifeboat summed it up well. Great final line for the conference. All hands on deck. I want to apologize to all four of you for not giving you enough time to tell your stories. I know some of you prepared a longer speech. Time just didn't permit. We packed it tight. We respect all of you for your great work. I'm still talking, just give us a minute. And then I want any of you who have a few minutes afterwards to ask these guys questions. So this team of CBR, Center for Bioethical Reform, I'm going to repeat, are going to be in New York City for a whole week. They're participating in tomorrow's Alive from New York event, and I hope all of you make it into the city tomorrow, 2:30 to 4:30, alivefromnewyork.com. Register, bring an ID. There'll be no tickets. They're going to check you at the entrance to the cordoned off area in Times Square. Try to get there early. There may be long lines for security to get into the secured area. Try to get there by 1:30 or 1:45. All right? Again, thank you to Cathy, Joanna, Michaela, and Leonard. Thank you for being here.